Well, good morning. Welcome back to the Broadcast Retirement Network. I'm Jeff Snyder. This is BRN AM for Thursday, February 16th, 2023. And our top story today, how the world snacks. And joining me now to discuss this and a lot more, Brian Choi is a managing director at the Food Institute. Brian, great to see you. Thanks so much for joining us on the program this morning.
Yeah, looking forward to it. I appreciate the invite.
Yeah, and look, I as I mentioned in the green room, I didn't bring any snacks, but if I did, it's a little early in the morning, but if I did, maybe some licorice would be top of mind for me. Brian, you and the Food Institute conducted a very robust survey into how the world snacks. And I'm just curious. Let's start with at the top line here. How does the world snack?
Well, a lot has changed over an 8 to 10 year period. So basically what we did or in partnership with Ipsos, which is a survey company, is take a look at 27 countries globally. And we did the survey in 2013 and also in 2021. And basically what we found is that the quantity, and just the penetration. So when I say penetration, the sheer number of consumers snacking on a daily basis has gone up substantially. So in the mornings, it's gone up over 40%. In the afternoons, it's gone up over 20%. And basically, it's driven by a few things. Number one is that more consumers are skipping meals. And that's due to a number of reasons. So number one, the younger generation, in particular Gen Z, kind of millennials, they are addicted to snacking. So maybe addicted is a little bit too harsh of a word, but
Sure.
They are snacking much more frequently throughout the day. And that doesn't seem to be changing anytime soon. And the second reason is, and I think this is really driven by COVID, a lot of folks are, they're working from home. Right. So when you're working from home, you have your refrigerator right there. You're right next to the kitchen. So, the connection to the food, within your own home, it's like it's much more frequent. And so the number of snacking occasions has, as a result, has gone up substantially as well. And as we know right now, like it's still a hybrid and in some case completely virtual sort of work environment for many companies. And so I don't think that is going to change too much as well.
Yeah. Oh, Brian, it's not necessarily a bad thing to snack. I mean, dietitians, and neither of
Correct.
us are dietitians, and we both have financial backgrounds, but they tell you eat smaller meals throughout the day.
Correct.
I was looking at the report. I saw a big picture of Oreos, but let me ask you, what are consumers snacking on? Is it the Oreo, the Frito-Lay, or is it something maybe a little bit more health conscious?
It's all of the above. I will say as a like a high level trend, health and wellness is more of a focus today than it was 5-10 years ago. But people are finding more reasons to snack, and the motivations of snacking, they've also gone up quite substantially, right? So whether it's mindful indulgence, right? So you want to have that, little piece of chocolate at the end of the day to relax, whether it's for energy, right? So we're seeing in the morning day part, people want smoothies. They want something that's healthy, that's functional, high in fiber, fruit, high in vitamins. So the health motivation is also a key category as well. The third, I would say, is people want to socialize, right? Especially as more folks are at home, they're isolated. And so food and snacking has become a way for consumers to interact with their friends and family, right? So it's not purely a sustenance, or motivation. So it covers multiple different areas, and that's something we see that's going to continue, over the next 3, 5, and possibly even 10 years.
Yeah, and there's nothing I like more than snacking with my wife, having some licorice, as I mentioned, or some carrots. Brian, we talk so much in the retirement industry and in the investment industry about sustainability.
Right.
How has that factored in to snacking? I mean, are we eating more sustainable foods, meaning they're not deleterious to the environment, they're not deleterious to the climate?
The answer is yes, right? And we're just getting started. So there's a number of reasons why the sustainability sort of trend has gained steam, and that will continue. One, consumers are much more conscious, right, of the effects that, for example, packaging is having on the environment, right? So we've seen a lot of food and beverage manufacturers reduce the amount of plastic. The quantity of even paper and like cardboard, that's also decreased. And so it's, what I would say is that it's entered the social consciousness of many consumers. And just even 5-10 years ago, that was not the case. Then you have the company, at the company level, they're also making a push as well, right? So you talk about sustainability, even kind of the social factors, they're much more aware that the production of their products across the supply chain each have an impact on the environment. So they're looking at from the sourcing to the manufacturing to the distribution, and trying to reduce that carbon footprint. And many of the leading companies, they've come out publicly to say by 2025, for example, or even 2030, that they want to be a net zero carbon emitter, overall, as a company. The third level is on the governmental side. So politicians, non-governmental organizations, United Nations, the World Economic Forum, they are pushing this agenda. And I don't mean it to sound like in a negative way, but they're really pushing for leaders of countries and companies to really think about their environmental impact, right? And developing some sort of like overall targets that countries and also companies can do, what they can do to help the situation. So from all these three different levels, that's why we're really seeing kind of the sustainability continue to gain traction within the food and beverage industry.
Well, Brian, I need to take a very quick break. When we come back, we'll talk more about snacking, what you need to know, and maybe I'll grab a few pieces of licorice in between. You're going to want to stay tuned right here on BRN AM. Imagine a new television network that will make you richer, healthier, and in control of your financial future. This network is for the policewoman in Nashville, Tennessee, the baker in Dubuque, Iowa, the teacher in Lexington, Kentucky. We want to make the idea of savings and retirement culturally relevant. But what do you see as a defining issue of the midterms, especially for the smaller businesses? I mean, they are the lifeblood of the American economy. Featuring exclusive interviews, current affairs, and docuseries. 33 years old, you retired early.
The philosophy is money only matters if it helps you live a life that you love.
But you got to start thinking about retirement as soon as you get in.
The Broadcast Retirement Network will drive very high engagement with premium partnerships. So this isn't retirement and savings for your parents or grandparents. This is for all Americans. And we're going to change the way you think about money. Welcome to the next frontier of retirement and savings. This is BRN, the Broadcast Retirement Network.
Are you stuck with a low credit score? A credit report and score that's causing you to be denied credit or pay higher interest rates than others for the same things? Then do what Terrence did and call Credit Repaired for your free credit evaluation to help restore your credit.
I started thinking about buying a new house, and my score wasn't where I needed it to be. I called and spoke with one of the representatives, and we just had a good conversation, and I liked what he was saying.
Just one call for his free credit evaluation was all it took to start back on the track to repairing his credit.
I'm seeing the deletions and I'm getting the report, so I know something's being done. It does make a difference to me.
All it takes is one call to get started.
Credit repair has given me a second chance to have a better credit score.
Don't let a low credit score hold you back another day. Do what Terrence did and make the call for your free credit evaluation.
Call 800-819-4152. That's 800-819-4152. Again, 800-819-4152.
Welcome back. We're joined this morning by Brian Choi of the Food Institute. Brian, thanks so much for staying with us this morning.
Yep. Happy to continue the conversation.
And you got my taste buds. I'm salivating at this point. Brian, we just had the Super Bowl, and I don't know if you recall, but there used to be a lot of potato chip or snack ads. I don't recall seeing that many of those, but it seems like when you look culturally at America, we love our chips. We love our Fritos, our Doritos. I don't want to leave anyone's brand down.
Right.
Is that still the case? Are we still predominantly a chip consuming society?
Yes.
Culture?
So the answer is yes, but I think the one difference or the one nuance, especially now, is that consumers are much more conscious of what they're putting into their bodies, right? So, I remember watching the Super Bowl, and they had non-alcoholic beer commercial by Heineken, right? So, so that's something. It's the first time in history that a company has promoted and marketed that type of product. You had avocados. Avocados is definitely, one that, continues to be a superfood, right? And the perception of it is still very positive. So, to answer your question, yes, we're still consuming a significant amount of chips. That's not going to go away. I think what is going to change a little bit more over the next couple of years is that consumers will kind of pair their quote the salty chips with maybe a fruit, right, or something, or dark chocolate, which there's more studies that that it's helpful for for the body overall. So that's what I would say related to kind of the snacking behavior in today's age.
Yeah, and Brian, I want to ask you about you talked about the challenges for manufacturers in terms of sustainability, the net neutral emissions. What about health? We seem to be, and not just America, it's all over the world. We're growing, maybe getting a little bit wider, many of us, and that brings on possibly diabetes and some other diseases. Pardon me, it got me all choked up. How do manufacturers, they want to produce a great product, they want to be net zero, they want to use the best economical and best components possible, but how do you balance producing that snack and also being healthy?
Yeah, that's a great question, Jeff. I think what companies, and this continues to be a struggle. I don't think there's a company out there that's figured everything out. But the one thing, the commonality is that they lead with taste. The taste has to be there, right? Consumers have to like it, right? The second is there a way to combine that taste with something that is also healthy? So maybe there's a functional component within that product that will make it a little bit more healthy than the previous generation, right? There's one company I want to highlight. It's Olipop, and so within the soda category, it's dominated by Coke, Pepsi, and many of the other brands. So high sugar, high calories, basically zero health benefit. Companies like Olipop are looking to disrupt that soda category where they're reducing the amount of sugar and adding functional ingredients to that. So imagine having a healthy soda, that it seems like an oxymoron, but those products are out there. So those types of products are gaining traction. And so companies are, especially large and small, but especially the large, they're looking to develop products like that provide consumers with an alternative to the quote unhealthy foods and beverages.
Last question, Brian, and a lot of people still go to the food store to shop. They peruse the aisles to find something, but how do people find some of these newer brands or some of these newer products? Are they doing it through, for example, shopping online, going through social media? If I have a taste for sweetness, where can I go to find out some of the newer snacks?
Yeah, there are many different sources. So within the food business world, in the food media world, so this is what Food Institute does. We highlight certain products and trends that are up and coming or that are gaining traction, within the market. So a lot of our clients go onto our website, check out what's happening in the industry. Retailers are also doing a better job of educating their consumer. Right. So whether it's like email campaigns, that's saying, hey, check out this product that's in the shelves. It's a limited time offer. Come into the store. We'll give you 20% off if you buy this week. The third is really just being aware. I think a lot, because people are staying at home, they're much more digitally native. So they're whether it's tuning into one of their celebrity reality TV stars, that seeing what they're eating, right? And that's also causing a behavior change as well. It's almost like monkey see, monkey do. If your favorite star is eating this a certain type of product, immediately that captures the consumer's minds, and then that provides an incentive for them to go to the retail stores to purchase that product. So it's a omni-channel sort of approach to kind of informing consumers of these new and up and coming products.
Yeah, I always look, Brian, at the to see if the star has abs, and then I try to figure out exactly what they ate. So if they ate a candy bar, that's good enough for me. Brian, we're gonna have to leave it there. Really interesting conversation, and look, you got my taste buds watering. Look forward to having you back on the program again very soon. Thanks so much for sharing your perspective.
Awesome. I appreciate the opportunity, Jeff.
That wraps up this episode of BRN AM. Have a topic of interest, someone you think we should talk to, drop us a line. And don't forget, for all the latest security news and lifestyle, wellness, finance, tech, so much more in all in one place, check out today's edition of our daily newsletter, The Morning Pulse. Want to search our archives, check out our latest content, we'll visit our website, and of course, all of our streaming partners. We're back again tomorrow for another edition of BRN AM. Until then, I'm Jeff Snyder. Stay safe, keep on saving. And don't forget, roll with the changes. Now is your opportunity to co-create content around any topic on the First Lifestyle and Wellness Network. Reach a global audience through our platform and co-own exclusive branded content. All of our programs are available on demand and also as audio-only podcasts, so you can take us on the go. Broadcast Retirement Network, available anytime, anywhere, and on any device.
Tax audits, tax liens, wage garnishments.
Every day we hear stories like this about good folks who are simply struggling to pay their bills. Each of them are living a frightening IRS tax nightmare, and they are afraid it will destroy their lives.
I'm a divorced single mom, and my ex-husband left me and the kids with a lot of unpaid bills, including unpaid taxes. I was really starting to show my stress on my kids because the IRS had sent me a letter demanding a huge payment from me. I couldn't afford it. So then the IRS was threatening to garnish my wages. I'm already living paycheck to paycheck. That would have put me over the edge financially.
It truly seemed hopeless, but then a friend at work told her to call the tax relief line.
The people at the tax relief line, they told me about something called innocent spouse relief. They worked it out so that all of the taxes from my ex are not my problem. I don't know how that works, and I don't care. All I care about is that I don't owe the IRS a dime, and they are not going to take my paycheck.
Even if it seems hopeless, you should call the number on your screen right now. There is absolutely no cost for the call or the consultation. You are under no obligation. If you are worried that the IRS could garnish your wages, seize your assets, even take your home, call us right now. The Tax Relief Line is here to help you. Now you have a knowledgeable, professional team of tax experts that are ready to negotiate with the IRS and fight for you to save you money. The Tax Relief Line's professionals have successfully negotiated thousands of cases, reducing and sometimes even eliminating the tax debt for their clients. It's very easy to get started. Simply call the number on your screen right now. You don't have to live in fear anymore. The call and the consultation are free.